I forgot to turn on my audio recording. Maybe I should do that. Hey guys, Soul Closet here, back making another video, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different type of thing with a format that I've been doing a lot of recently, which is tech reviews. If you've followed my channel for like the last 2 months or so, or just generally for a while now, anytime that I get a new tech thing, or I just find something that I already had that maybe is interesting, I'll do a little review on it. I haven't reviewed any of my keyboards explicitly, but I've done little sound test videos on them. I did a review on the Steam Link, this trackball, my Moto 360, So I've been doing more tech review things recently, and I really like that format. It comes pretty naturally to me. And you guys seem to like it. If I look at the numbers, those videos get some more views than my other videos do after the same amount of time. And that's really cool. God. That's not good. But yeah, so I figured I would just do a little bit of a different format. Rather than having my hands down here but the camera down from there, I figured I would just sit here and talk to you guys, since I fashioned a interesting tripod setup to make my phone sit in it without buying anything, which took a lot of tape. But now that I have that, I figured I would do this kind of format, just because why not? You know, it's a fresh thing. So today, as I'm sure you know from seeing the title of the video, we're going to be talking about the Beats Studio 2 wired headphones. Here they are. They fold up. Look at that. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Beats brand, especially if you live in... I was going to say America, but like they're popular everywhere. Beats are everywhere. If you're watching this video, you probably know what Beats are. If somehow you don't, they're a brand of headphones initially made by Monster Audio with the branding and help of famous rapper and producer Dr. Dre. They used to be called Beats by Dre, and I think now they're just called Beats. But either way, Beats became its own company and was quickly bought up by Apple in 2010 or something like that. Not too long after the first round of Beats products came out, and it's all headphones. Beats is all headphones and speakers. And you've probably seen some at some point. The most notable feature, which is totally present on these, is the B logo on the sides there, as well as the font they use for Beats right there, if you can see that. But in general, it's just a pretty popular brand of headphones that's meant more to look good around your neck than it is to sound like headphones that cost as much as they do. The Beats Studio 2 wired headphones that I have here would have retailed at release in 2013 for approximately $200 from what I can find. And that's a lot of money. So you want to get a good product for that kind of money. Now, I didn't spend that much on them, but before telling you how much I did get these for, I'm going to review them with the idea in mind that they were intended to be $200 headphones, and then I'm going to wrap it up with a bit of a confession on how much I actually paid and how I think the worth changes based on the price I had to put up to get them. So I guess let's start with the outside. I've already shown you a little bit, but they've got the Beats logo on both sides there. On the left side, which is this one here, they've got the Beats logo as a button. And what that does is while you're listening to music, if someone comes up to you, I know I look ridiculous with my hair like this, but if someone comes up to you and you want to hear them, you just hold down the button. It doesn't pause the music, which is stupid. I really wish it did. The reason it doesn't is because initially they would have come in the retail box with a cable that lets you pause on iPhones, but not on Android, because I don't know. They're wired differently. But either way, this button on the headphones doesn't pause. It just mutes the audio and has some other effects that I'll talk about pretty shortly here. But either way, that'll let you hear other people around you. So that's a nice feature, and it does work. I've been listening to stuff. My mom comes and talks to me or whatever, and I'll just hold the button, and she'll say something, and I'll respond, and then I'll go back to listening to my music. It's a feature that works as intended, so that's nice. On this side, it's not a button. There's no extra controls. However, you will see, or I hope you'll see, a little button right there. And if I hold that button, it should turn on the headphones. And you might be wondering, you said these were wired. Why do they have a power indicator in the form of 5 dots and the ability to turn them on, as well as this convenient micro USB charging port? Well, a person who already knows about the physical characteristics of Beats before watching this video, that's a pretty good goddamn question. And the reason is that these headphones have mandatory active noise canceling. And what that means is that while you're wearing them, you have to have them powered on, which is conveniently done either by holding that button or plugging in the included detachable cable. You'll see that the light's lit up there again. And they turn off when you unplug it as well. But what the noise canceling does is it basically has a microphone in the headphones, which I'm not sure if it can be used for phone calls, but that's beside the point. It listens in to your surroundings, and it basically tries to generate a low noise while you're playing your music or wearing the headphones that is like the inverse noise of your surrounding sound. If you know anything about like the idea in physics of waves, and I'm not going to go into this too far because I don't know enough, but basically if you imagine sound as a wave, maybe your surrounding noise kind of goes like, then it would generate a sound that starts up here and goes. And what that does is that they're the opposite of each other at any given point in time, meaning that the outside noise, instead of hitting your ear, it gets canceled out by the sound generated by the headphones. Now, what that means in practice is that when you're listening to a pause in a song or you're not playing anything, as long as the headphones are powered on, you will hear a low hiss noise. If you watch or read other reviews of these headphones, a lot of people really give the Beats Studio 2 a hard time for the low hissing noise that's present under all sound, music, or silence, or anything. I would have to disagree. In my time with these headphones, which thus far has been about a week or so, but I've been using them every day for a week, I would say that while it is definitely noticeable when listening to a song with a lot of pauses, like, instrumental, piano, or nothing, it's not really annoying to me. You have to be okay with the idea of white noise, but I like white noise. So it sounds kind of like if you've ever been in a Skype call with someone who doesn't have the best microphone, and then they walk away from the room and there's no sound in their room, and you just kind of hear that feedback. It's like that, but less quiet and lower pitched. And that's what makes it a little bit more tolerable than something like that, is because it's, generally speaking, not really going to be a piercing noise in any way. So judge that as you will, but I have to say I was scared before I got the headphones, and after using them extensively, I would have to say it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Let's see. What else was I going to talk about? Right, okay, so I gave you a little bit more of a physical overview, but let's talk about this. In the band there, you can see that padding. It's not plush like the ear cups are. The ear cups are a plush, what I assume is a fake leather material, like you'd find on an office chair or something like that. Very, very soft. My ears are really tall, and so they get kind of crushed up in the cups there after maybe 2 hours of use. But if you don't have gigantic ears like I do, then or a big head, it really won't be a problem. It's just my shape specifically. But the headband, I guess if you want to call it that, I don't really know what you would call that, is a soft touch silicone rubbery grip. And that's okay. It's not great. The only problem with it is, like me, you probably have hair on the top of your head. If you do, it will eventually get caught on this rubbery surface, because if you think about it, you're wearing the headphones, and you want to get them snug so that they stay on comfortably and fit well and are angled correctly. What that means is that when you move this back and forth, it drags your hair along, and I'm sure I'm messing up my hair right now, but that's the point. These headphones will mess up your hair and will drag, and that's not necessarily good. But again, it's not something insurmountable in terms of being made up for by how they sound or how comfortable they are. And I gotta say, within the first hour of listening, they are very comfortable headphones, for sure. Much better than wearing something like my Superlux HD668B, which I might make a video on, although they are audiophile headphones and I don't have the right equipment. But, you know, they're not as uncomfortable as some other, I don't know, less expensive high-end headphones, which is good. They're expensive, like I said, $200-something. So, you know, you get your money's worth in build quality, for sure. They feel sturdy, they fold up nicely with hinges that don't feel like they're going to snap. This is a used model, and even how it came to me right out of the package, it feels sturdy and well-made. And you can tell they've seen some use. There's some rips that I can't show you because it's black and the contrast, but there's rips in the leather material, so I can tell these got used by their previous owner, and they still feel really solid and well-made. They don't flex more than you would need for them to fit on your head. Really good stuff in terms of the build quality department. So, I've tiptoed around the one thing that everyone cares about, if you're like me, I guess, when you buy a pair of headphones. How do they sound, and how does that compare to the price? Well, if you've never used a pair of Beats headphones before, then you don't know what to expect from these. If you have, you already know what I'm going to say, but I'll say it anyway. The Beats Studio 2 are not a flat equalized headphones. They are not mixed for music listening at its highest quality. You could tell by the fact that they don't really benefit from an amp or, you know, external audio equipment, that they aren't as high-end as their price would suggest, and it definitely shows while using them. The whole point of Beats is that, again, you can take them with you. They're really meant to be used with your phone. You know, the company's owned by Apple. These were made while the company was owned by Apple, so you're supposed to plug them into your iPhone. And I get that. But the only problem is that they are very bass heavy, and as a result, it's not overbearing. You can listen to music without much bass, and you don't get blasted like you would with, you know, some street guy's car speakers. But the result is that vocals get kind of muddy at really any volume or range. Just about the only vocals that would sound like the source material are like screaming trap rappers with a really bassy instrumental behind them. You know, if you really like XXXTentacion, then get yourself some Beats. I mean, I listen to a varied range of music, but it mostly falls under rap and rap-influenced R&B, and so some of it benefits. You know, a lot of rap is, you know, bass-heavy and meant to be kind of bumped through some speakers, and, you know, you can put that through some beats. I imagine a lot of my favorite songs are mixed by a producer using beats, and that's fine. The only issue is that these don't quite hit the mark in terms of making any music sound like it's in its element, if you know what I'm saying. I find that I get a better listening experience when listening to multiple types of music using my $35 Sennheiser CX 3.0 headphones, or earbuds. And that shouldn't be the case. For a $200 pair of headphones from a reputable brand, kind of, you'd really expect something that makes them stand out over the competition. And unfortunately, that's not really what you get with the Studio 2. I can't speak for the wireless version. It's possible that they have better sound somehow, but I highly doubt that they're any different other than the mode of connectivity. So speaking on these headphones in particular, I would not get them if you consider yourself an audiophile or a budding audiophile, really in any way. I do appreciate sound quality, but I can bypass that for the fact that most of the time I don't need it, and these headphones are really comfy, and they do complement a good half of my normal listening music in practice. But if you listen to stuff with lots of, you know, acoustic guitar, piano, folk music would suffer from this. Anything slow. I know that the speed of a song doesn't have anything to do with how it should sound on headphones, but for some reason I feel like slow music just sounds way less gratifying on the Beats Studio 2 than on other headphones I've used. I think that has something to do with the fact that there is that hiss in the background, and while it's not, again, bothering me on a normal basis, it does, in practice, show itself on the pauses or quieter parts of your music. And so if you listen to slow music that isn't bass heavy, you're gonna find yourself noticing that hissing sound a lot more often. And that's really not what you want, I would assume. So, if I had to kind of give numbers out of 10 to this, and this isn't some kind of standard grading scale. I've never done this before. Never reviewed headphones before. But just subjectively, I would say that these get a 9 out of 10 for build quality. The only thing better, again, for me is if the ear cups were a little taller, because my ears are really tall. I'd say that they get a... They get a 10 out of 10 for battery life. For headphones that shouldn't need to be charged, you really can just charge them... That was close. Charge them once and forget about them. They'll last for like 24 hours, I've read. In practice, they haven't died since I bought them. So, that's how it is. But they get maybe a 6 out of 10 for audio quality from me, and that's generous because of the music I listen to. You really want to go for some flatter mixed, better quality headphones, especially for this price. Now, like I said earlier, I didn't pay the full price of $200 to $250 for these headphones right here. I got these on eBay secondhand, like I said, for about $45 plus shipping and tax, which came out to, I want to say like $55 US. And for $55, these are worth it. They're not amazing. I wouldn't call them a steal for $55. But they're definitely worth buying at that price, all things considered. That's why I'm a little bit more willing to forgive the lower audio quality, muddier vocals in some types of music, lack of clarity in the higher end and mid-range, because I didn't pay nearly their full price for them. And if you can get these headphones for anywhere under $70, I would say that they might be worth getting, especially if you listen to a lot of rap or trap music. That said, I wouldn't spend over that much for them in any circumstance, because they just don't carry the specs and the sound to complement that. Now, if you want them as part of your outfit, go ahead. I can't stop you. But for me, I'm going to have these things on my head way more than I have them around my neck. And, the flaws show, for sure. So if you're interested in getting these, they're the Beats Studio 2.0 wired. I'll see if I can find an Amazon link that I can pop in the description. If you like this video, you can give it a like or a dislike. If you didn't like it, I don't really care either way. But if you didn't like it, let me know in the comments what was up, and I'll probably respond, and, we'll go from there. I want to have a good relationship with you guys, because, YouTube's a thing like that. I don't know where I'm going. Either way, that's all for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Soul Closet out.